In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with Karsten to talk all about Movie Empire. Then we'll see what's on Kickstarter. But first, a brief message about our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Overbattle, the All War. That'll be on Kickstarter through the 20th of April. More to be said during our Kickstarter Corner portion of the show. This episode is sponsored by Hachu Games and their game Plunderbund, the back alley business board game that'll be on Kickstarter through Saturday, the 20th of April. You like anime, you like the 80s, you love games, well, you'll love this. This episode is sponsored by Robotech Crisis Point. Pre-order it now. That is up for pre-order, and you can find out more by listening to my interview with Dave entitled Robotech Crisis Point. This episode is sponsored by Shard Hunters, the card game that'll be on Kickstarter through Friday, May 10th. Find out more during Kickstarter Corner as well. This episode is sponsored by Widget Ridge, that'll be on Kickstarter through Friday, the 10th of May. Widget Ridge is a steampunk deck building game with crazy inventions that connect to make even cooler inventions. An Ian Taylor creation. Find out more by catching my interview with Ian, which is easily accessed by going to their update entitled Update 6, Improved International Shipping and New Retail Tier.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to the world of Mr. Bartholomew Grumpy, the most prolific producer in Hollywood. In Movie Empire, you are a junior producer working for Mr. Grumpy, while competing with other players to be the heir to his throne. You do this by producing movies, a few big blockbusters or several small trash movies, and releasing them at the right time in the right market to hit trends and get awards. Don't forget to keep an eye on pleasing your boss, as this will have an influence on your assets.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me either, but this is the story of Movie Empire, a new game that's currently on Kickstarter, and today we're lucky enough to have on the creator and mastermind behind this game. Is that right, Karsten? Is that how you fall in line with Movie Empire?
Absolutely right, Blake. Thanks for having me on the show. My pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. We really appreciate it. Now, before we jump into everything that's great about your game, let's rewind a little bit if we could, Karsten. How did you get into playing tabletop board games?
Well, I'm a typical kid of the 80s, so I started with, please don't shoot me, with Monopoly, and I enjoyed it as a kid. But as I grew older, there were other titles to explore. I liked the games with a more off-topic beat, so I played a lot Sherlock Holmes Criminal Cabinet. I think it's called now Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. Don't know if you know that. It's more of a deduction game where you have lots of newspapers, messages, address books, and you have to solve cases. I also played video games a lot. Coming from the Commodore 64, I played also role-playing games. I started with a Dark Eye because Dungeons & Dragons was not that widespread in Germany at that time. So yeah, I played almost everything I could my hands on.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I won't shoot you because actually my daughter connived me or convinced me to play Monopoly. It was a Mario-based one. It wasn't the Mario Gamer. It wasn't the Gamer Monopoly. It was just Mario with the. It was just Monopoly with the Mario theme on it, and she convinced me to play it. It's my youngest daughter. We had her for about 20 minutes, and then she lost interest. So she connived me into a game. So yeah, I won't shoot you, or you'd have to shoot me.
Well, no problem. It was a fun thing, I must tell you. I was last year at Spiel at Essen with our booth, and I met a guy there, and he told me that he's collecting Monopolies. He has over 100 different versions of it, and I said, why do you do this? And he said, why not? And that's exactly the spirit with the gamer scene, I think. you can like what you want if you have fun with it.
Yeah, most definitely. That's how I feel. I thought I was collecting, but I only have I'd say I have less than 10 Monopolies. But the other day I was going through Uno's. Before I got into what hobby tabletop is, I was collecting different Uno cards. We went through the box that I have a little while ago, and I have over 30. I might have more.
Wow. That's not bad.
Yeah, but my hobby games, I have even more. So when you got into, was there a certain hobby game that got you into what tabletop has become today?
Well, no, to be exactly, it was life happened. So I was working a lot, I raised the family and such things, and there was not that much time for playing, and I completely lost touch with it. And it was, I think, 10, 15 years ago, I played Pandemic. No, it must be 10 years ago. And I thought, well, that's clever to have this mechanism in it. And I was attracted to board games again. And then I started to collect and play. And yeah, the last years were very exciting for the board gamers out there, because you have so many new concepts and so much ideas. And I like it if games get immersive. If you're living in the world you're playing, that's the most difficult thing to do for a designer. And if it works, it's great. It's a great experience.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, when you can actually get immersed in the game, that's great. And you talked of a collection. I imagine you've played all the games you've collected?
Well, there is a little pile of shame, I must admit, but we'll try to play everything. I have a regular board gaming group. We meet every Thursday a week, and the shame is that with so many titles in the collection, you don't get to play one great game often. So most of the games we play once, and we hope to play it again the next time, but it's difficult. Yeah, I try to play everything I have.
That's good. I hear you. Hopefully, I hope to get there one day, but we keep on getting more and getting more. There's so many games out there. Speaking of being so many games out there, you recently created something and it's on Kickstarter. What can you tell us about Movie Empire, Karsten?
Well, Movie Empire is, I say, a classical worker placement game in combination with set collection. You heard the introduction about what it's about. You will have to produce movies to be the successor of this super powerful producer in Hollywood, Tinseltown, or whatever you will call it. He's Mr. Grumpy, and he is often grumpy. So apart from the worker placement side, where you have to collect your assets like production assets, stars, scripts, and these things, you have to make sure that your sympathy level that got tracked during the game, that it stays stable, because only when you have a positive sympathy with Mr. Grumpy at a certain level, you have the possibility to produce several movies in the game, and your budget every round depends on the sympathy level. So that's another component that's playing with the mechanics. The worker placement is, as I said, classical. You have spaces, not enough spaces for all the players to do things. You have the production side, where you have to get the assets. You have a general action board with only one action the round, so the players are competing for this. And all the assets you have to lay in a line of cards due to specific rules, because there are 4 different production stages in the game, and that means you can't lay the card post-production in front of the pre-production. You have to follow the staging rules. We have a second style of play in the game. Many players love that. I know that many players don't love that, because it's a take that component. It's called the Black Dossier mode, because you can sneak into Mr. Grumpy's office and collect these nasty little secrets about him, and you sort of blackmail him so he does you a favor. And these favors are mostly backstabbing other players. But this is a completely optional mode. you can't play the game completely without it.
Oh, good, because I know some people are all for that. Some people like co-op games, and some people like to take that. And me and our family, we prefer good take that, even though I end up losing most of the time.
Yeah, that's the problem with kids. They are good at that.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's awesome. Now, per se, me and you sat down to play Movie Empire. What's my turn gonna look like, Karsten?
Well, we have 4 phases in the game. The first is the grumpy phase, where everybody gets to collect money, and there's an event card called the annual plan revealed that shows what restrictions or bonuses every player gets this round. You can have countermeasures to not follow the event, and that's the first phase. The second phase is the pure worker placement. So you have your production assistants, they are called. You have 4 of them. 2 of them are for free, and the other 2, if you want to use them, you have to hire them. So that means you have to invest money in them. The most important thing is, if you have your movie production ready, you must prepare for the third phase. That means you send your production assistants to prepare a movie premiere, but you don't select yet where to premiere the movie, because there are different markets in the world, and we reflect that in the game. And if this is done, we go to the third phase. That's the premiere phase, where all production assistants that have been sent to prepare movie premiere, then in the order you have the production assistants. So the first player who prepared that, he can choose the market, and there's only one slot to market, so you have to choose carefully. Additionally to that, there are movie trends. Mr. Grumpy is very clever. He knows what's trending. So you have a trend you have for this round, and you have a preview for the next and the round after that. So you can prepare for that. And trends mean, for example, art house movies are the new hotness at the moment. So you have to premiere in the European market, and you have to publish a drama at the same time. So that gets you a lot of bonus points, and most importantly, an award. And these awards do have a lot of impact in the end game. After that, it's the upkeep phase, cleaning up the boards, and that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it looks really cool. And especially what I'm in love with is the art. Like, I don't know if these are cards or what they are, but they look like DVD cases. And especially the one I'm fond of is, it looks like Teenager from the Future.
Yeah, everybody loves that. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's a combination of a parody and a show of love to Back to the Future, obviously.
Yeah, most definitely. So, are these cards in the game? Is that what they are? Because they look like DVD cases, kind of, on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, right. These are cards because you need scripts, and the scripts do look like the Blu-ray cases or movie posters. So there's a lot of fun in that.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that part. So, in creating this, during your playtesting and whatnot, was there ever anything you had to scrap because it just wouldn't work for the game, Karsten?
Oh yeah, we had a lot of elements in the game. I have to tell you that I started developing the game about, exactly 2 years ago, and there were a lot of iterations of the game. We had something called, for example, the production triangle. The producer mantra: good, cheap, fast, pick 2. So it was some kind of a rotating thing that defined what bonuses you get for the round, but other players could manipulate that, and it was a great tool, but we said it is too much of elements in the game. There are already so many moving things, and you have to think of what you have to do in order to have a good strategy. So we scrapped that, and we scrapped 1 and 2 other things too. Yeah.
Okay, and this isn't the first time it's on Kickstarter. What all did you change from your last go round on Kickstarter, Karsten?
Well, there are 2 things. One is on the content side, and the other one is on the manufacturing side, the business side, I say. We had a lot of talks to have better opportunities for the production without sacrificing anything of the quality, so we could lower the goal significantly. And the other thing is, We have all unlocked stretch goals from the first campaign now from the start in the relaunch, and that was, I must admit, a mistake I made in the first campaign because we had developed a solo mode long ago. And I thought, well, Kickstarters, after some days, there's a plateau phase, big slump where nothing happens. And we should have something for that. And I thought, why don't reveal the solo mode in the middle of the campaign? But that was clearly my fault. And this solo mode is also included from the beginning.
Okay, awesome that you're able to get everything updated and whatnot. And this one funded really relatively fast, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I was incredibly surprised that it funded after 40 hours. Well, you read that too with other campaigns, but when it's your own campaign, you don't believe it at first. There was so incredibly positive feedback from many backers, from other users, and it was fun, and it is still fun because the journey still goes on for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, most definitely. And when you relaunched, did you see there was a lot of people from the previous Kickstarter that came back for this go round?
Oh yeah, I talked with many people, and all said they won't all come back due to different reasons. But we had a big percentage, I think it was 70%, something like that came back. Maybe the other 30 didn't get a notice about it. We mailed them, but everybody does that. So you have to raise awareness, and that's the most difficult thing in Kickstarter. First, definitely you have to have a solid game. It has to work, it has to have good mechanics, it has to be balanced. Then you have to have great artwork, because that's the first thing people see. If it looks not like something they want, so they go by and don't read or watch a video anymore. And the third thing is the awareness. If you don't bring a crowd to the first days, it's very difficult at the moment to have a chance at Kickstarter, because you see it too. There are so many games released or put on Kickstarter every week. It's incredible. I don't know how many you can play in your life.
Yeah, most definitely. There are a lot out there. So when it comes to Movie Empire, what makes your game pop as one my audience should go check out the Kickstarter page, and if they like what they see, back it on Kickstarter today, Karsten?
Well, I think the most things that make it outstanding is that it's a theme that's not widely used. Most movie-related most movie-related games I know use auction mechanics. We don't have auction mechanics in it. We wanted to make it a pure worker placement game to get a feel for movie production, so that you think you're a producer, to make it more realistic. Then the art is not the usual thing you see with Euro games. It's not the classical, more straight version of illustrations. It's more a bit on the comical side. And yeah, the references to movies, that's something that all players like.
Awesome. Yeah, most definitely. You got me sold on it. It looks like just a spectacular game. So somebody's listening along, they haven't been over to the Kickstarter page, they want to get it. What is it gonna take out of their wallet so they can get a copy?
Well, we tried to keep the price down. It's about 35 euros. That's around about $40. But you get a lot of cards with that. You have multiple boards with that. You have player tableaus. We have double-sided illustrations on the tableaus. It's a lot of stuff for the money, I think.
Awesome, most definitely. Like we talked about, it has funded. What kind of stretch goals are you working on these days, Karsten, for it?
Well, we have the obvious stretch goals as more content with more scripts, more movie references. We also will have component upgrades. As you saw in the first campaign with the double-sided boards or something like that. And we have, I can't tell you everything. We have some surprise stretch goals that we will reveal over the next days.
Awesome. So you'll have to go ahead and jump on over and click on that link that will lead you straight to their Kickstarter page so you can see what they have going on. And at the very least, go ahead and jump on over and check out the artwork like on this game. Like I said, it is amazing. It really pops to me. I especially love the movie references like you talked about. Awesome, most definitely. Now, yeah, mine is coming there over there to Germany to stalk you. How would people go about keeping up with you online, Karsten?
I love being stalked. We have a great board game cafe here in Munich, so that's most probably the place where you could meet me.
Okay, awesome. And how do they keep up with you online as well?
Online, you can find us at the social media outlets you all know. We are on Facebook with our page Stimulus Games. We have a Twitter account. We have Instagram. You can visit our website and you can email me anytime. I will answer any questions you have.
Awesome. And most importantly, go ahead and click on over to that Kickstarter link so you can back the game and get a copy of it yourself. So that's awesome. And yeah, we don't want to keep y'all. Well, I guess over there it's all morning, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us to talk all about Movie Empire that'll be on Kickstarter through Thursday, the 25th of April. We really appreciate it, Karsten.
Thanks, Blake. As I said, thanks for having me on the show. It was a blast.
No problem. That was awesome sitting down with Karsten. I'm excited about Movie Empire, especially that card that gives homage to my favorite movie of all time, Back to the Future. You know what else I'm excited for? To see what's on Kickstarter.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
I'm really excited about Overbattle the All War. Will you all do me a huge favor? Great, I knew I could count on you. Head on over and check out overbattle.com. Just like it sounds. You may not be a war gamer, but this isn't your everyday war game. It's a war game that combines everything you love about board gaming and makes it better, and wargaming as well. You start playing the game right out of the box. Want to find out more? I had the pleasure of sitting down with Rob not once but twice to talk everything Overbattle. Go listen to those episodes, and since you're listening now, I'm going to give you a heads up. Coming to you Wednesday, there's going to be a giveaway coming to you from Rob of Sither Gaming, myself, and the Giveaway Geek. So come back to my Saturday episode entitled Bigger is Better with Overbattle and a Giveaway tomorrow, and the details will be all there on GameReliefGo.com underneath the episode's show notes. So don't miss out on that, and let's make Overbattle a reality by backing it before Saturday the 20th of April. 524 Labs has a new game currently on Kickstarter in Area 1851 Express. It's a 2 to 5 player card drafting and set collection card game that plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. Aliens have landed in the Wild West and are trading technology with the locals, combining card drafting and set collection. You'll create out-of-this-world gadgets with hilarious modifications, sure to keep everyone laughing. It sounds like quite a game, and I'm excited for it. You best be backing it before Friday the 19th of April. Your kids are losing way too many dice, you say? Plus, you want to be the coolest one on the block when it comes to rolling and storing your dice? Then you're going to need the Nomad's Magnetic Dice Tower from Master Monk. It's a magnetic dice tower featuring handcrafted inlays and a unique design that works with the Nomad's Armory. It folds down nicely and is held together by earth magnets. The audio alone just doesn't cut it. I'd encourage you to jump on over and check out their Kickstarter campaign page, as well as giving my interview with the creator to listen. Find it in my episode entitled, Be the Coolest One on the Block with the Nomad's Magnetic Dice Tower. We teased about this a bit during our sponsor spot of the show, but Shard Hunter's a card game. It's simple and dynamic gameplay, exclusive artwork. Love your dark fantasy card games, but don't have much time? Well, this is a 20-minute game for you. The art is amazing. Jump on over and check out their Kickstarter campaign and back Shard Hunters the card game before Friday the 10th of May. You know I love myself a good deck builder, don't you? And who doesn't love saying Hachoo? Put them both together and you've got Hachoo Games' latest game, Plunderbund, the back alley business board game. It's got a bit of everything to keep you on your toes. Deck building, worker placement, and and area of control strategy in a high fantasy Prohibition-era world. It's got 2 to 5 players, stunning art. You want to find out more? Well, make sure you subscribe to Getting Geeky with Game Relief in your favorite podcast catcher, and then tune in to Thursday's show when I sit down with the designer to see what this game is all about. In the meantime, check out their Kickstarter campaign page and back it before Saturday, the 20th of April. Truth be told, I always wanted to grow a mullet, but anytime I grow my hair out, it goes straight up into a fro instead of a mullet. I love the 80s too, so imagine my geeking out when I found Moles with Mullets, a card game, on Kickstarter. It's a fun 80s music themed card game, but with moles, for up to 4 players. Their goals not outlandish, and if you ever wondered what it was like to be a mole in the 1900s in a rock band, you're not going to want to miss Moles with Mullets. Check out their campaign and back it before Friday the 17th of May like I did. Well, it's our least favorite time and your least favorite time too. So, before next time, I hope you'll get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others into Geekfold by sharing this podcast with them. And if you're a backer of our Kickstarter campaign, be on the lookout for our backer surveys that will be going out really soon. Anyways, Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.